Hello y'all, it's Valerie. Welcome back to Pisces Mountain Farm. If you are new here, thank you for watching. Today I'm going to be carrying more buckets of compost up to the ring. Now I know that it may seem like, well, weren't you just doing this? You know, that video just went up and it's like the continuation, except for me, it's been about a week and a half since I filmed that video, and it's been very wet. It's not been overly cold, but it's been very, very wet and rainy, so I haven't been able to get back out. So even though to you it seems like, well, she just did this, it could have been one video, for me, there's actually been quite a few days between. It's like a week and a half later. So I guess I'm going to get back at carrying compost and see what else we can get into in the garden today. As I was walking down to my compost pile, I decided to check on my jugs that I have winter sowed. And if you don't know what winter sowing is, it is where you take seeds, you put them in a jug, you tape them up, and you leave them outside for the winter. In my area, this works particularly well for anything that needs to be cold stratified, specifically like perennials and that kind of thing. It works well for warm weather crops too. It just works. I have better germination than I otherwise would get when I use this method for sowing perennials such as lavender. Lavender's a good example. At least for me. Just look up winter sowing on YouTube or on Google and you'll be able to find plenty of information on how to do it. But for now, I thought I would just kind of show you what I've got planted out already for this year. Some of these containers are reused from last year. I reuse my containers until they become too brittle. They will eventually become too brittle and just start to crack when you handle them. But until then, I reuse them as much as I can. So this one is a delphinium, pure white. This one right here, I seem to have, oh no, that is a Vera lavender. And there isn't anything going on inside of these jugs right now. There's nothing bloomy or there's nothing germinating. I don't expect any of these things to start germinating probably until around, I would say April, maybe late March. I could end up with some germination before then, but for most of these things I'm figuring probably March or April at the earliest. This one is Summer Breeze Cherry Blossom Strawberry. This one is Wormwood. This one is Zloty Land Chamomile. This one right here is Roman Chamomile. This is the ground cover type. I've got a couple places where I'm wanting to use it as a ground cover. This is some Spike Lavender. This big jug right here is Delphinium Red King. This jug right here is Delphinium, and it was a burpee mix. That one is a Larkspur Kaleidoscope mix. This one is a Sunball Feverfew. That one is Snowball Feverfew. So let's go get that compost. Yep, I'm still worn out. Imagine that. Imagine that this only being the second day of working outside for the season, that I'm not already breathing easier. Anyways, I don't know. That was just funny to me. Maybe from the lack of oxygen, maybe it's making me a little delusional. I don't think I showed you last time, but I'm going to turn around and just kind of give you the view of where we came from. I know last time I gave you the view of where we were going to, up to the top here, but I kind of want to turn around and show you where I came from. Okay, I came from all the way down there. This is quite a significant slope. I don't know if seeing it from this angle does it justice, but it definitely looks steeper from this angle than it does the other angle, in my opinion. At least through the screen it does. Last time I got the compost spread around this area, so I'm going to start on this side this time, and then once I get this area done, I'll go back up and even up my lines, make sure that the thickness is roughly the same. But right now I'm just getting my rough first layer down. in one of those situations today where the sun is hot and the wind is kind of chilly, so it's hard to regulate temperatures when you're out here working. But I prefer this over dying of heat, so we'll work with it. I think I'm going to need anywhere between 4 and 8 more buckets of compost at least, and I'm going to try to make myself get down there and carry at least 2 more buckets. But man, this is really, really hard on me right now. So I'm going to take a little bit of a rest over here on my little rock and catch my breath, and then go back and get some more compost, hopefully. Since we were just talking about the weather, I thought I would come on here to say I just sat down to take a rest, and when you're not moving, that wind is chilly and I had to put my coat back on. But when I get up and move, I have to take it off. Oh, and I don't know if you can see this, but I just broke a nail, and I know that that's such a girly issue. But I will say, during the garden season, even though I do break my fingernails, they are so much stronger and healthier during the gardening season than any other time of the year. I had to rest twice coming up that hillside, and now before I actually spread the manure. I keep telling myself it's good for me, and it's also good for my garden, because both of these things are true. Though right now it doesn't really feel like it. I know later I will thank myself. So, future me, you're welcome. Okay, I'm gonna go pant. I'm gonna go pant in silence now. As you can see, I now have the basic footprint down of where this manure is going. So what I need to do now is come back and make the rows a little deeper and even out the edges. And then once that's done, we're going to come in with some mulch and do the pathways. And I'm also going to do this little ring in the middle. So basically, if you can see, there will be a ring of manure, a circle of compost in the middle, and then all the way around will be mulch for a walkway. In case you can't see what I'm doing, I'm gathering stones. One thing about living in the mountains, usually there's plenty of stone to be had without looking very far. But we have even more of an abundance of stone than that, so I guess I'm going to put some stone around these beds. Since on the spur of the moment decided to build a stone outline, I'm going to go show you something that I do during the gardening season that makes this part a little easier. During the gardening season, when I'm out here digging, and I find a bunch of rocks, I try to just throw them in little piles. So when I need them, they're all kind of in one central pile, and it makes it easy for me to go find the nearest little pile that I have and get stones from there for these little projects. I don't know, I just thought that tip might help other people who have rocky soil and they dig stone out. I'm going to take you over here and show you what I did. I just built a little stone wall all the way around the edge, and it makes me easier to see where I need to fill in the gaps where there's not quite enough compost. I'm going to be building the same kind of wall on this other side probably before I carry up any more compost to these parts of the bed, so that way I do have that defined edge and I can see where the compost needs to go better and where I need to fill in. I'm going to grab my buckets, I'm going to go down to my house, and honestly I'm probably going to play The Sims 3 for a while before I have to start dinner. Thank you guys for hanging out with me today. I really do appreciate it. It makes these jobs so much less lonely and so much easier to get done if I have friends hanging out with me. So once again, thanks for watching. I will see you next time.